Asher believed in fairy tales, and for 5 years he thought he was living one with Piper. He wasn't just a boyfriend. It was her rock, her biggest fan, and her personal financier. From the moment they met in college, Asher was captivated. He poured everything he had into their relationship: his time, his energy, and most significantly, his money. While he worked 2 jobs to stay afloat, he made sure Piper never had to worry about a thing. He paid for her tuition, her rent, her chic wardrobe, and even the fancy art supplies for her burgeoning career as a painter. His friends would often joke, asking if he was her partner or her patron. Asher would just laugh it off. For him, supporting Piper's dream was his dream. He pictured a future where her paintings adorned gallery walls, and he'd be the proud man standing by her side. It's the one who believed in her before anyone else did. But dreams have a funny way of turning into nightmares. The first crack in their perfect facade appeared subtly. Piper started spending more and more time at a new, exclusive art studio downtown. She'd come home late, smelling of expensive perfume and wine, excitedly talking about a gallery owner named Julian. Oh, Julian, she explained, was a big deal. He had connections, a keen eye for talent, and he saw immense potential in her. Asher, ever the supportive partner, was happy for her. He encouraged these late nights, these networking events, telling himself this was her big break. He even bought her a new, expensive dress for a gallery opening Julian was hosting, stretching his already thin budget to its absolute limit. He told himself it was an investment in their future. The night of the gallery opening was the beginning of the end. Asher, dressed in his best, albeit slightly worn suit, walked into the sleek, minimalist gallery and immediately felt out of place. Piper, dazzling in the dress he'd bought her, was already there, holding a glass of champagne and laughing with a tall, impeccably dressed man. This was Julian. When Piper finally noticed Asher, her smile faltered for a fraction of a second. She introduced him, but the introduction felt off. "This is Asher," she said, her tone casual, almost dismissive. Throughout the night, Asher felt like a ghost. He watched Piper bask in the attention, completely in her element, while he stood awkwardly by the cheese platter. He tried to join her conversations, but he was always on the periphery, an outsider looking in. The drive home was silent and heavy. The usual cheerful chatter was replaced by a thick, suffocating tension. Back in their apartment, the apartment he paid for, Asher finally broke the silence. "Piper, what's going on? It's you and Julian?" Piper sighed, a sound full of exasperation, as if his question was a monumental inconvenience. All of Asher's insecurities, all the little doubts he'd pushed aside, came pouring out. He accused her of using him, of taking him for granted. This was her moment, the culmination of her ambition. And it was going to be the stage for his revenge. Piper, looking every bit the triumphant artist, was in the center of it all, with Julian beaming by her side. He wasn't there to cause a scene in the traditional sense. Their eyes widened. They whispered to their friend, who then scanned it too. Like a ripple in a pond, the news spread through the gallery. The title read, "The True Patron, a 5-year investment," and below it was the entire detailed spreadsheet of expenses. Every dollar he had ever spent on her was laid bare for the world to see, a digital monument to his contribution. The tuition, the rent, the art supplies, it was all there. Julian, seeing his prized prodigy's reputation crumbling before his eyes, rushed over and furiously ripped Asher's card from the wall. But it was too late. The story was already out, spreading through the room and onto social media faster than he could control. Asher didn't say a word. He didn't need to. He simply looked at Piper, a long, steady gaze that said everything. He saw the panic in her eyes, the collapse of her carefully built world. He had exposed the truth not with anger, but with cold, hard facts. He turned and walked out of the gallery, leaving the chaos behind him. Asher never looked back. He didn't need to see the aftermath to know he'd won. He had lost his money, and he had lost the woman he thought he loved, but he had reclaimed his dignity. He had rewritten the ending of their story. He was no longer the forgotten ex-boyfriend. He was the silent partner, the true patron, whose investment had finally paid off, just not in the way he'd expected. His revenge wasn't about hurting Piper as much as it was about healing himself. It was about taking back his power and closing a painful chapter on his own terms. As he walked into the cool night air, for the first time in a long time, Asher felt light. He was free. He learned a harsh lesson about love and money, but more importantly, he learned the value of self-respect. And that was a masterpiece no gallery could ever display, and no amount of money could ever buy. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more stories.